All right, what's going on, guys? It's Oliver here. I'm in Austin, Texas. Shout out Triple Well. They hooked up this incredible studio. But today I have Haley on. And, I never planned on doing this podcast. I came here to do a video shoot for my brand, Tabs Chocolate. We're collaborating with this YouTuber who has like 1.1 million subscribers. He does all this wild, crazy shit with OnlyFans girls and porn stars. And, I sponsored an Airbnb and all these girls. And the premise of the video was basically door dashing and ordering pizzas. And then these girls would open the door and surprise the delivery driver, butt ass naked, and be like, hey, like, you want some tabs? And I'll probably throw some B-roll on this just so you guys can kind of like see it. Absolutely insane, absolutely crazy. But over that time, I actually had some really fantastic conversations with some of the individuals, Haley being one of them. And originally, actually, just to like kind of put it all on the table, all the cards on the table, I didn't want Haley to come to the shoot. Basically Nerdballer TV Lorenzo showed me like different options for models, and I wanted that kind of like PG look. I wanted that kind of like girl next door vibe. And as you can see, like Haley has a lot of tattoos and she has like 2 face tats, and I was like, yeah, like that's not it. Like that's not the look that we're going for. Like, and beyond that, I also probably had like a lot of preconceived notions and preconceptions, like right off the bat, like. And again, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna say, like, and I want you to know, like, it comes from no disrespect, and I want you to be like comfortable. But like, I had like these like preconceptions, as I'm sure, honestly, a lot of you guys watching it, where it's like, oh, like, maybe she's whack, or maybe it's kind of trashy, like whatever, blah blah blah. And I actually had like one of the most incredible conversations. We were sitting outside, and we were just kind of like chopping it up for an hour and a half, going back and forth, like talking about a whole bunch of things. And, I came out of that conversation. I came out from my interactions with Haley, and I was like, wow, like this girl is super fucking cool. B, I did not expect that whatsoever. Like I was a little bit shaken up. And C, I also came to the conclusion, I said this to Haley, that, I think that Haley and myself are actually, very similar and more alike than, you would think, or she would think, or I would think. And so it was such a fantastic conversation that I basically kind of wanted to run it back and do some sort of podcast or some sort of video to kind of, encapsulate that moment. Or perhaps even create a better moment. And so that's why we're here today. That's why we're doing this video. And I want it to not be like professional or like high end, despite us being like in the studio. I just want it to be like super comfortable, just like an amazing conversation. Kind of just like exactly how it was when we were chilling outside on a couple chairs in the backyard, like smoking a J, whatever it was. And yeah, so anyway, without further ado, I guess like that should be a good intro. Yeah, so. And by the way, like I said before, like if you fuck up or I fuck up, like like we just keep rolling, like just restart yourself, and like fuck, like that's just not gonna be in it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so cool, yeah. So Haley, like thank you so much for coming here, and thank you so much for being here.
well, thank you for having me. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome.
hmm
So I'm interested from your perspective, like what motivated you to kind of come here? Like obviously I'm not paying you, like you're super busy, you got a lot going on, you barely know me, like why are you here? Like
Well, I really enjoyed our conversation at the shoot when we met. I think that you have a lot of knowledge that I might not necessarily have, and I think there's a lot that I could learn from you. And I just enjoy the energy that you bring to the table. And yeah, I, we had some disagreements, it might have seemed like,
yeah,
when we were talking.
quite a
But
few.
yeah, but I think that that's healthy.
I agree.
And yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and I honestly
Yeah.
like that's like one of like my quells and like problems with like society and like our world is how like divisive everything is, and like these echo chambers that like people live in, where and it goes beyond politics. It's like with any sort of aspect where it's like
Yeah.
people have an opinion, and then they're surrounded by people that share that opinion, and they never see anything else, and they're not even able to entertain another viewpoint. And I do think that like that conversation was healthy, and I also like just had like a lot of fun with it. Like I think that it was just like um
I
it
think a
was
lot of
good to
people
consider like other aspects,
options.
other
Yeah.
viewpoints, and good to like kind of like stretch your imagination and thought process. To think in ways that personally I'd never think before, and I'm not sure like and think about viewpoints that I'm sure you'd never considered before.
I think a lot of people have a hard time saying the things that they're thinking, even if it's like negative about someone, like your preconceived notions about like my face tats and stuff like that. Like, I think a lot of people probably do think that, but they don't say anything. And so the fact that you did, and then I was able to explain to you my point of view, and then that opened your perception,
Right.
you know what I mean? Or changed your perception of me and maybe even yourself, that you were. Maybe you felt like you could relate to me,
Hmm.
even though at first you might not have necessarily wanted me there. So I think that that's really good and healthy for both of us to watch and to grow from.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
let's just kind of like jump right into it. Um, Obviously like people don't know about the 1.5 or 2 hour conversation that we had.
Hmm.
So it probably like as much as I want to reference it, it probably makes sense to just like start from scratch, like pretend like maybe we didn't even have that conversation.
Yeah.
uh like can I ask you like why the face tats? Like I think that
Yeah.
it's definitely like a statement. It's definitely not normal or accepted,
Yeah.
and it's something that like
You know why I got them? Because people kept telling me not to. That's why I got it. Everyone was like, don't do that. Don't do that. And every time someone told me don't do it, I wanted to do it more. Like, literally. And like, I don't think it was to like hurt their feelings. I think it was to show them like it's okay, to do what you want and to be you no matter what. Like, it's okay to have face tats. It's okay to, whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? The world's going to keep moving on. You know what I mean?
yeah, but like, do you feel like people have treated you differently since getting those tats off?
I
Because it's
think,
not like you can hide them. It's not really like you can
yeah,
cover them up. Like,
I think people, sure, they've treated me differently, but what does that make a difference to me?
of course, it makes a difference to you
Why?
because if you can like control how people treat you, I would say that that's an
You can
advantage.
never control how people treat you.
But you can take certain steps. So, for example, right, the way that I dress will probably have an impact on how people treat me. The watch that I wear probably has an impact on how people treat me.
Hmm.
Like, and as much as it might suck, and as much as it might be shitty and superficial and shallow, that's how the world goes. First impressions are everything. And before we even have a single word and converse, there are already judgments that I'm making about you and judgments that you're
But
making
you
about
don't
me.
have to make those judgments about people. I choose not to.
So you don't make any judgments on anybody based off of their appearance
It's
or
human
based off of their
nature to
feels.
make those judgments, but it's in your power to recognize that those judgments are superficial.
I agree that they're superficial.
So I
but
make the choice to see and recognize that that's a judgment, and then I sit back and say, I'm not going to judge anything today.
you don't judge anything.
Yes. It's an active choice that you
So
have to
okay,
make
so all right, so
to
I got
be
to. So
non-judgmental.
if you're walking down the street and you see a guy that is incredibly scary looking, maybe tatted up the kazoo, looks super dangerous,
Yes.
looks like you're not gonna cross to the other side of the street.
If I need to get across the street, I will.
No, but like to protect yourself, like would you like cross the road?
Yes.
You would cross the road.
Yes, 100 times
So
over.
therefore, you're passing a judgment. For all we know,
No! I thought you. I thought you were. I
I
misunderstood. I thought you were saying he's standing at the side of the street and I need to cross.
No, okay. So like you're walking on the sidewalk, right?
Yeah.
You're walking on the sidewalk,
And he's coming my
He's
way.
coming towards you. You're walking towards him.
Yeah.
What
Am I moving away? No.
Are you
I'm
turning-
going wherever he's going. If that's
You
where
are.
I need to go. Yes. Yes. 100%. Because that's me. I'm that guy with the face tats that people are scared of.
Well, I don't know about that. You're a blonde, like
I
pretty
mean,
girl. Like I don't
it's
think
your
I don't- I don't-
perception.
I
It's
don't
your
think- I don't think
opinion.
people are scared of you.
That's not the point,
I
though.
think people might be like, oh, like maybe she's like a little bit trashy.
I don't think
or,
that's
like,
the point, though.
Okay.
My point is I'm going where he is.
Absolutely, 100%.
100%.
You're not even thinking twice about it.
No.
Really?
If I need to go that way, yes.
Well, yeah, you can go that way, but let's say you can cross the street. Let's say you can take a detour. Let's say whatever. You're just gonna walk right by him.
If I feel like it's my path to go, then yeah, I'm gonna walk that way.
But if there are 8 other alternative paths that are viable,
and I was already headed on this one
Yeah.
path, no, I'm gonna keep going where I'm going.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So you don't pass any judgment on anybody based off.
I
of
do. That's
looks
part
or
of being human, but I recognize that it's within my power to notice that that's judgment and it's not mine to be passed on to others.
Got you. Here's what I will say though,
Yeah.
is that I think that your presentation, again, the clothes that you wear, all these superficial stuff, do come from within, right? So it is a reflection of what's within.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the outside, like if your
There's
vessel,
a word for what you're describing.
what's the
And
word?
I have it on my saved app that I showed you.
Oh yeah. Tell me about the app for the people that don't know.
Okay. It's just an app called Vocabulary, and it teaches you new words every day. This is not sponsored.
Yeah.
Teaches you new words every day. You can pick however many words you want to learn. I have mine set for 2, 1 in the morning and 1 at night.
Yo, pretty crazy. I mean, yeah, no, like in a good way. Again, like something that I would have never expected, right? You see an OnlyFans chick with face tattoos and tattoos all over her body and a tattoo that says "fuck me" on her butt. And you know, she's learning new words and vocabulary every single day, which is probably more than 99.9% of you guys watching this.
Here it is.
What's the word?
Meretricious.
What does it mean?
It means tastelessly showy, attractive on the surface, but in reality having no value or substance.
Okay. Yeah, no, but that's not what I was going for.
Well, that's what the watch is.
What you think? You think that's why I wear the watch?
No, that's what watches are, or whatever you were describing, like a nice shirt.
No.
Attractive on the surface, but in reality having no value or substance.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah. I'll tell you.
So this is what the sentence is used in. Her meretricious style of dressing, everyone noticed as soon as she walked into the party.
Right. No, I can understand the word. I can understand, but like for example, like for me, like this Rolex that I
Your
bought.
meretricious style of dressing.
I don't think that it's meretricious. For me, like this watch holds a lot of sentimental value. It's not about showing people how much money I have or telling people how much money I have. For me, it's a reminder of my success and of being, you know, a self-made 21-year-old multimillionaire. And it wasn't always that way. There was a lot of struggle. There were a lot of time.
My point of view is like, I should just listen because I don't know if you're going to necessarily agree, but like you're all of that and you've been that since you were born, and that will never change and nothing could ever take that away from you, no matter what you're wearing.
Yeah, I agree that is within.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have things that remind you, right? So the same way like a girl wears like a necklace that's like her grandma's, right?
This
like,
is just me leading back to why I would walk next to that man on the street. Because it doesn't matter what's on the outside.
But that what's on the outside is a reflection with what's in.
Exactly.
And so for me, my nice watch is a reflection of me being the self-made whatever entrepreneur. For him, unfortunately, I would argue that all of his scars.
What about for me and my face tats?
It's not a universal rule. There are outliers to any single generalization, right? So like just because you have face tats doesn't mean you're trashy. But what I will say is that most people that have face tats are trashy.
Interesting.
Would you disagree with that?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't believe it's your responsibility or really like your place to judge other people. So you're judging other people by
everybody judges every.
That doesn't mean it's the right thing to do.
But it's human.
But it's in your power to control it. That's also part of being human.
Okay, so you don't judge anybody.
Let me read something for you that I read this morning, actually. There's a prayer in A Course of Miracles that states, "Today I shall not judge anything that occurs. Non-judgment creates silence in your mind. It is a good idea, therefore, to begin your day with this statement, and throughout the day, remind yourself of this statement each time you catch yourself judging. If practicing this procedure for a whole day seems too difficult, then you may simply say to yourself, for the next 2 hours, I will not judge anything, or for the next hour, I will not judge anything. Then you can extend it gradually. Through silence, through meditation, and non-judgment, you will access the first law of pure potentiality. Once you start doing that, you can add a fourth component to this practice, that is regularly spending time in direct communication with nature.
What book is this?
The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success, I believe.
Nice.
But
okay, so a couple thoughts.
mm-hmm.
First is, okay, maybe you don't necessarily judge because you've trained yourself, but I would still
still judge. It's part of being human.
Exactly, and I'd still argue that your subconscious judges. You
Yeah.
might not even be aware of it,
Mm-hmm.
but you're judging things.
Yes.
But
you can become aware of your judgment.
There's some things that are subconscious, right? I don't.
But
think
you
that
can
become
change your
aware.
subconscious and train your subconscious and reprogram it to think the way that you want to think.
Possibly.
100%. Not possibly. 100%. I do it all the time, every day.
There's some things.
That's why I don't like replying to some people when they say some things. Because I'm just like, it's not, it's just, it's prattling. You're prattling. So let me read the first part of this, because it's what went before that.
Why don't you summarize it?
Well, I mean, it's pretty accurate. It's pretty.
Okay, then read it.
Yeah.
Read it.
So it says, another way to cross the field of pure potentiality is through the practice of non-judgment. Judgment is the constant evaluation of things as right or wrong, good or bad. When you are constantly evaluating, classifying, labeling, analyzing, you create a lot of turbulence in your inner dialogue. This turbulence constricts the flow of energy between you and the field of pure potentiality. You literally squeeze the gap between your thoughts. This gap is your connection to the field of pure potentiality. It states that pure awareness, the silent space between your thoughts, that inner stillness that connects you to your true power. When you squeeze the gap, you squeeze your connection to the field of pure potentiality and infinite creativity.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's like,
It's I
forgot what philosopher said something like this or along these lines, but it's like, it is good or it is bad or it just is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but going back to what we were talking about before. Okay, so let's say you've trained your subconscious where you're not judging people. You consciously, yourself and deliberately you don't judge people.
That would be being God.
Okay,
so that's not part of being human. I don't think that could ever happen. It's a daily.
Okay.
It's a daily thing.
Okay, so let's call it a daily thing. Regardless, let's say you check those boxes. Let's say you're God.
Mm-hmm.
How about all the people that we know judge? How about everybody else that judges you?
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay, maybe you're right. Maybe judging is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say is that everybody else does it. I think that we can probably agree on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I put myself in a position where when I walk into a room, they're passing bad judgments on me? Why would I put myself willingly at a disadvantage?
Because you have to understand and have empathy for them. It is not their fault that they're passing judgment, but it is their responsibility. And them passing judgment on you is really a reflection of how they feel about themselves and the judgment they're passing on to themselves. Because if they love themselves and accepted themselves, they would pass no judgment upon anyone else.
Maybe you're right. Let's say you were right. That still doesn't change the fact that now you're going through your life and you're playing the life on hard mode.
No, not if I'm doing what makes me happy.
To make a statement?
No, not if I'm doing what makes me happy.
But does it make you happy, or was it a statement because people told you not to?
No, it makes me happy.
Well, in the beginning, you told me that the reason why you got these tattoos is because everybody told you not to do it, and so.
But I still wanted to do it. It still makes me happy.
Why does
it still make me happy? Because it's just a constant reminder of who I am, and what it means to me. I love my face tats. I wouldn't change it for the world. I want more. I want more tattoos. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. All right. Well, I think we've exhausted the face tattoos. Yeah. So I mean, I think it would be interesting to hear a little bit more about you and hear about your story. Obviously, you do OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do on OnlyFans? I know some people post bikini pictures on OnlyFans. Some people do full nude on OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. Some people have full on sex tapes. I guess what is kind of your threshold? What are your limits with OF?
So I've done pretty much everything on there. I've never had like orgies or done like any two guy content, but I've made a few videos with like my two boyfriends before, so I have porn on there for sure of me and my exes, and I've got some solo videos on there. But I pretty much just post whatever I feel like it. Like I'll make long vlogs of me just like doing my daily routine. Like I'll just put workouts on there. I'll put my art on there. Like I'll just put, it's just my life, really. It's pretty honest. I don't really fake anything. It's just me and my life. Like all of my videos are real. They're not like, I'm not a porn star. Like I don't go and make porn videos, but I'll have videos of me and my boyfriend. You know what I mean? I'll take videos of me and my boyfriend. I'll post that, and I'll take videos with me and my girlfriends. I'll post those, stuff like that.
Are you a very like sexual person? Like, have you always been a very sexual person, or?
No, not at all. I mean, I like sex. I think it's healthy to have sex,
I
but
think everybody
no.
who doesn't like sex.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm not a super sexual person by any means.
So like on like you would say you're average, below average, like higher than average. Like,
I'd say I'm average.
you'd say you're average.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. I mean, I like to have sex a lot. Like if I'm in a relationship and like in love, but like
How much is a lot?
I don't know. Probably like a few times. Oh, like a week. Like
I mean,
at
that's
least.
cap.
I mean, at
That's
least like
such cap. Everybody,
5 times a week.
Yeah, everybody.
No,
like,
some
when I
guys
was-
can't have sex that much. Some
Really?
guys like really can't have sex that much. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I mean, once a day, like that's pretty normal if you're in like a relationship.
Like or even like twice a day.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
some guys
that's
can't
very
do
normal.
that though. Like I swear, like I think that they like their dick needs time to like recharge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like girls can have sex more than guys. I feel like because they don't need to recharge. You know?
Yeah,
I
it
don't
depends.
know.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
So I was dating this YouTuber. His name was Hooligan Christian on YouTube. We dated for like, I think we dated for a year, maybe 2. But I had been doing like Instagram since high school, and I had like 16,000 followers just from like being in high school.
When you say doing Instagram, just like
posting a
and
lot,
making content.
Just no, not really even making content. Like I was just your typical high schooler on Instagram.
So you're just like a hot high school
Exactly.
popular girl.
Yeah.
And, like, dudes followed you because
Yeah,
you
exactly.
were hot.
Literally. And so I'd been doing that, and then I started TikTok, and like I had got some ideas from my boyfriend who was doing YouTube on how to like make kind of viral videos.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started posting my own videos on TikTok, and then
How old were you at that time?
I think I was like 20.
Got you.
Yeah. And
And how old are you now? I'm sorry.
24.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, he told me that I should start an OnlyFans because I needed money to pay like my rent or something like that. Like my rent was due. My dad was like, I'm not helping you. I was like, fuck, I have to make money right now. And he was like, start an OnlyFans. And I was like, okay. So I started one. And then after like 4 months of doing it, someone messaged me on TikTok to try and manage me because they had just found my TikTok.
I find this part really interesting. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like more of a business guy, like a strategy guy. I think like a lot of people that are watching this are probably like kind of fall into that category. So like I guess like in terms of you had 16,000 followers on Instagram.
So I had 16,000 on Instagram. I had
happens?
0 on TikTok.
Right.
I started posting TikToks. I posted a video of me giving someone a tattoo because I was thinking of like pranks I could do. So I was like, this will be a good TikTok. I'll go to a fucking motel, have my friend be waiting in the motel. Like I'll film it like I'm like, have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Open my tattoo gun in the video for the first time because I'd never used it before. I'll film all that. I'll post it on TikTok. Hopefully it'll go viral. And then that's literally what happened. It got like over 1.4 million views or something like that. Just filmed on my fucking phone.
Right.
Like, hey bud, let's go to like get a motel room and let me give you a fucking tattoo. Like literally.
Yeah.
And then just kept posting more TikToks, you know what I mean? Just natural growth,
Right.
posting TikToks. Got like, I think I had maybe 1,000.6K fans, something like that. And then somehow, like that's just how the world works. I don't know. Shit just happens. You can't predict it. You know what I'm saying? Like shit just happens. Like the fact that you went to high school with the guy that made the fidget spinner, like you could never fucking predict that.
Yep.
That shit just happens. So like this guy, Bunny Management, messaged, his name's
Wait,
Scott Papascott.
Wait, but before we get to management, so like,
Yeah.
okay, so like you make this.
That was it. I just made some TikToks, put my OnlyFans link in my bio.
And then you got 1.6 subscribers.
After posting a series of TikToks over the course of a few months.
Okay, and over those course of a few months, like how much money were you making? So you had, like,
I was making like 1,000 a month, or so, like maybe. Yeah.
You had 16,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
You had a couple of videos that popped off on TikTok.
Yeah.
You start the OnlyFans. You have 1.6K subscribers. What does life look like?
Life was looking good. Like I was making enough to make my rent, but it was still like a constant everyday grind of like trying to get more fans and like trying to, still make my rent. My rent was like $1,600 at the time. It was like my first apartment, and I had only been able to pay for it before because I was doing real estate, and I didn't want to do real estate anymore also. So I was trying to quit that and look for something different. And thankfully I was still making enough on real estate that I was kind of doing both at the same time for a little bit, OnlyFans and real estate.
What does real estate mean? Like real estate's huge,
so I
right?
worked as an inside sales agent at a company called Remax Elite, and I sat there every day making cold call leads.
Oh wow!
Calling cold call leads, and I would
blows.
Hi, this is Haley Beltran with Remax Real Estate. Are you still looking to purchase a home within the next 6 months? And then the whole fucking rundown, just as many leads as I could do.
Right.
I actually enjoyed it, even though it sucked, because it's just talking to people, and like when you know how to talk to someone, it's kind of easy.
It's
like,
talking to people when they pick up the phone. I've done cold calls myself.
Yeah.
But 9 out of 10 calls.
The thing that I like too is that it gives you so much free time to actually fucking like read or like study or like learn more shit while you're calling. Like I had my shit on. We had an app that would just call for you.
Oh, I did not have that when I was in my bedroom.
It would just call the next number over and over and over, so I could just sit there and focus on whatever the fuck else I wanted to focus on.
And what were you focusing on?
Ways to make other money.
Gotcha.
Like fucking yeah. So then I started the OnlyFans or whatever. Started posting TikToks, got like 1.6K, got a message.
On TikTok or on OnlyFans?
On OnlyFans.
Okay,
I had 50K on TikTok.
And okay, so you had 50K on TikTok, you had 1.6K on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And is it free to subscribe?
It was free.
And then you sell them like PPV, pay-per-views, messages, whatever, tips.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Why did you choose that model? There are a lot of ways you could do it. You could charge a lot.
I don't know. I just did.
Okay.
I just figured I would get more fans if it was free, and then I could get them to pay in the messages.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Valid.
So that's what I did, and just like out of nowhere, I'm like, I remember the day. I remember exactly what happened, because I was like, this is gonna change my life. Like I just knew that it was. I got a message, and it was like, hi, I'd love to be your manager. I'd love to do your only blah, blah, blah.
DMs.
We can, promising all of this stuff. Like, we'll blow you up, all this, stuff like that. And I was like, all right, well, I'm like, I hadn't even posted porn at the time on my OnlyFans. It was all like, just like Instagram content.
Right.
And,
fully clothed?
Yeah, fully clothed. Yeah, literally. I think I would do like striptease and stuff, but I like wasn't showing anything yet. And, I was like, sure, fuck it, let's do it. Signed with them, and then everything just like boop, 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 boop,
really?
boop, boop, boop. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So what did they do differently that
pages.
you weren't doing?
The meme pages.
That's it. Was it like pretty much just meme pages?
That's it.
So for some of you guys that don't know this, meme pages is actually like a big part of my marketing strategy too.
Yeah.
I spend probably anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 a month on meme pages.
Yeah,
which sounds wild, sounds ludicrous, but
I believe it.
You've seen the power firsthand.
Yeah.
For those of the people that don't know, like kind of what that looks like can you talk a little bit about like what the meme page marketing is?
Yeah, so it's pretty much just people who have Instagrams with millions of followers. You see them all the time. They post fucking memes. People pay to get promoted or posted on those Instagram accounts, but it's you have to be careful, because there's a lot of people out there that say, oh, I have access to this meme page or this meme page, pay this amount, pay your money through Cash App, no form of like security, you just get your money taken, and then you never get posted.
So that happened to you afterwards?
Oh, that happened to me plenty of times.
Really?
I mean, not that many, but a few for sure.
Okay, so
or you pay for a post and it's not worth it, the engagement's down, or
it's fake followers, or bots, or it's an Indian audience, and like people that don't have any money, like disaster. Yeah, I've been there. In terms of, by the way, like getting schemed and scammed, I've been there too when I was younger. First of all, PayPal, goods and services only.
Yeah.
A. B, you put it on Amex. So even if they do fuck you, charge that shit back. Amex has your back. There's no way that they'll be able to touch you. Awesome. Like, a little pro tip there.
Cool.
Yeah, but okay, so now like you sign with the management and they start pumping on meme pages. What kind of content are they pushing out on these meme pages?
it's like you said in your other podcast, like you're not reinventing the wheel. You're just fucking hopping on board and like changing some aspect of it. So they would literally send me already viral meme posts of other fucking girls
Right.
that I would just copy
Right.
and then send right back to them.
That's the formula.
Yeah.
You know, there's a saying, it's like good artists copy, great artists steal.
Yeah.
And like I believe it. Like, you know, if there's a track record to success, like why are you gonna try to be like this pioneer that creates your own path? Like follow the path, bro. Like we've seen like 800 people do the same exact thing and go from 0 to 100. Like why do you have to be like some, you know, Einstein to do it differently, only to end up in the same place?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I feel that. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And what kind of like viral posts were these? Like flashing in public?
It was like
kind
no,
of,
it was actually
like, wild
pictures.
Really?
Just pictures.
Like
Like no, like well, honestly too, it was a few fake like chive ads, like fake ads, like
what does that
I
mean?
think my first viral ad with them, maybe it was TikTok or something. It was like girlfriend breaks up or girlfriend makes OnlyFans free after boyfriend breaks up with her.
Oh, and it was like a news?
Yeah.
And it was like news?
Yeah. I think that was mine. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got you. I follow a similar format for like Study Buddy.
Yeah.
It was like like university professors are like losing their shit.
So
after,
that's literally what
Yeah.
they were doing,
Right.
and they justified taking 60% of my money for that. And I sat there and I was like, I know how to make these meme posts.
Right.
I know the meme people. I have the money to pay for
Right.
it. I don't.
Okay, so when you signed with them, how much were you doing a month? So like
I
1600?
wasn't doing a lot, and they grew my account, and I
For
was
what?
signed with them for like over a year and a half. You
So
know
they
what I
grew your
mean?
account from what to what?
From like fucking 1,000 fans to like 130,000 fans.
So what does that mean in money?
From like $1,000 a month to like $25,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Got you. But then at like some point you were kind of just like, okay, fuck this. Like I know how they do everything.
Well,
know the
I
marketing
kept trying to
strategies,
tell
but-
them like part of their package was like we're gonna bring photographers and we're gonna bring all the models together and we're gonna do this.
collabs.
Never once met them. Never once met a different model. I brought them like 8 different girls.
Oh, really? For
Yeah.
them to manage?
Yes, and they never once met one of their models, like except for the girls I knew that I brought to them that had been friends with me since high school, and
Oh, so you put all your other girlfriends
exactly,
on the game too?
yeah, exactly, and like
And are they also all breading the same way you are?
no,
Really?
none of them,
None of them?
none of them. Yeah,
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Are they, okay, like, let's just call a spade a spade. Like, are they hot?
Yeah, I mean, my sister's one of them.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to say, like, oh, no, my sister's not hot. So,
But
like,
I mean, like, it doesn't matter
No,
how you look.
no,
There's
it
girls
does.
on OnlyFans that make fuck tons of money that are not conventionally hot by any means.
right. But they have some sort of other niche.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Like, I
they
saw,
don't
like,
have to be
Lorenzo's
hot.
girl, like, cosplays a dog.
Yeah,
Which is fucking
exactly.
bizarre. But
So,
they were doing 6 figures a month.
but you don't have to be hot. I think it's about
Really?
your mindset. Yeah, I think it's about your mindset and
I
your
mean,
and your like motivation to want to do it and to like put in the work because
I think
it
that's
takes a lot of work. Like you have to constantly like be posting on social media, like making viral TikToks. Like you have to be constantly making new content. Your content has to be good. Like in my experience, the people that I brought necessarily didn't want it bad enough.
Right.
Like that's what it was.
Okay. So you're saying, like, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff going on. I
And
mean,
don't get me wrong, there's
they-
girls that blow up and don't do
Right.
any work. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
It's
right.
just you can
I
never
mean, like,
predict.
doesn't management do all the chatting and do all the posting? And do
Yeah,
all
but
that? Like,
not on TikTok or Instagram, only on OnlyFans.
Got you.
Yeah.
So what does like a typical day in your life look like? Like you says like you're like it sounds like you're working a lot. There's a lot of content that you're making.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, honestly, my days I think are about to start looking pretty different because like I've been focusing a lot on like in the past 6 months, I've been focusing a lot on, you know, OnlyFans and YouTube. And I want to shift my focus. Like I still think that that's important, but I've been spending a lot more time like actually trying to do like self-improvement, like reading and like meditating and like, you know, being in nature, not being on my phone necessarily. I don't like not hanging out with friends. Like I stopped hanging out with my friends. Like I not that there's not a time and place for that, but like honestly watching your podcast too, I feel like there's a whole world of like knowledge that I've been opened up to that I had no idea like even existed, and it has me like really excited. So there's a lot of things that I'm doing that I think my daily routine will start changing, as the days continue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's valid.
Like, cause you're like, you said that you're like a nomad and whatever, and you travel everywhere. Like, well, what's your daily routine? Like, I'm sure it's different all the time. You're always traveling. I'm going to LA
Yeah.
tomorrow. You're going to
Yeah.
New York tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, but yeah, Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, my daily routines,
Yeah.
it's dynamic. It's always changing.
Yeah.
And people are
Are
like,
there things that you do the same every single day, like at
there's
certain
stuff that I
times?
should, honestly,
Totally.
that I lack on.
Yeah.
Like I know, like when I work out every day, like I feel a lot better and I just feel amazing. And honestly, like I've just stopped lifting and like but I go on walks every day.
Yeah.
That's something that like I love. I go on like probably like a 1 to 3 hour walk.
Do you ever
every single
meditate?
day. No, I do not meditate.
You should start
Yeah.
meditating.
I know I should.
I
And
know.
I just
Yeah.
you're right. You're 100%
Yeah,
right.
there's the book that I was reading, that quote from you. It says like, not that there's like a million ways to do things, but I think I'm gonna start doing it this way. I've been meditating for 20 minutes a day
Wow.
with a timer,
Wow.
like no phone. Like it has to be actually, because you can say you're meditating, but like you have to actually like make a time for it. Like, you know what I mean? You can't just say like, oh, before bed, I'm going to close my eyes without my phone. Like, no, your meditation should be like when you're at your highest mental clarity for the day, and not when you're like about to go to sleep or you're tired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the book that I'm reading, it says you should do it for 30 minutes at the beginning and at the end of each day. So I'm going to try doing that instead of just 20 minutes a day. So I meditated for 30 minutes this morning,
Wow.
6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m.
Damn.
So
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I feel like I'm like constantly like seeking stimulation, and just like trying to like find ways to be busy or entertained or
I
like.
feel like I
you know
can
what
tell
mean?
that just from like your energy, even though you are such a like have accomplished a lot, your head is all over the place too.
Right, but is that necessarily bad? I think that's part of the reason why I've accomplished so much.
I think it can be a bad thing if you're not mindful
Right.
of where your head's at. Like it's okay for your head to be all over the place because you're obviously super creative and have all of these like interesting ideas that no one else on this earth has except for you, which makes them special and rare. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you have to be aware of maybe the stipulations you might put on yourself or others at the same time. You know what I mean? Because there's polarity in everything. So as much as you are a creative like genius, you could also like really be a destroyer to someone's energy or to their, mental state. You know what I mean?
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like no, I feel you. There's for sure like good and bad with anything. There's two sides to every coin and sword, right? But for me, like I think that like, that's definitely part of my superpower is like that ability to be like in 800 different places at once, and like I'm able to like have my hands in so many different businesses, and man, like I thrive in chaos.
Yeah.
Like when the ship is like sinking and burning down, like I'm
So
running towards
if you
it.
meditated, it would probably change your whole life. I mean, I think it would change your whole life. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
that's where you find the peace in the chaos. You know what I mean? That's the...
Well, I like the chaos. Like for me, that's like stimulation. That's like that's when like I'm at my peak performance. Is
so
in
meditating
the
will be
whirlwinds of
super
chaos.
challenging,
Yes.
but that's why it would be super beneficial.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
You said that like that my energy can also come off as destroyer.
No,
what
I'm saying
do you
it
mean
has
by
the
that?
potential to be
Gotcha.
because how that video of you changed my life, like that podcast,
Wow.
you know what I mean? It could also do that in a negative way, what you say. You know what I mean? Like your words hold such great power, just like everyone's words do, but they might not realize it. You know what I mean? But you have like proof to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Like you've got like this whole thing that you've accomplished. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
So you just want to be mindful that like just like you can build someone up, you can also tear them down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Not that you are, but
No,
it's just to know that
no.
you can is important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What do you think your superpower is?
I don't know. I just care. Like, I just care about people and about myself. And I think that's a superpower. You know what I mean? Because there's a difference between compassion and caring. And I really do care. So
What does that mean exactly? Like, cause like I think like anybody watching this like is like okay, like cool, like I also care.
yeah.
Like I care about stuff, I care about people, I care about myself. Like,
Yeah.
can you go like a little bit deeper? Like, why is that your superpower?
I
Like,
think
do you
there's
think that
because I think there's a difference between like doing something for someone because it's the right thing to do or doing something for someone because you want to do it, if that makes sense. And like I want to I want to be here. You know, I want to have this conversation with you. I want you to be successful. I want you to be the best version of yourself. Like, I want all of those things for me too. So,
Wow.
I don't know.
Really? Like you genuinely want
Genuinely,
other
yeah.
people to like be super successful. Like
I
you
do.
like you
And
just like
because I think everyone deserves that. Yeah, to be happy. Yeah.
gosh, were you always that way, or is that like kind
No,
of like a
not at
recent?
all. Not at all. Not by any means.
What do you think like flipped that switch in you, or was it like more of like a slow progression?
Slow progression.
Yeah,
Slow
yeah. I think that's
progression.
how everything is. People are like, oh, like what was that spark? Like I don't think
Yeah.
that there's like a
Mm-mm.
moment where it's like you flip from one
There
side to
are
another.
like,
Like
I think there's like multiple
y-
little moments,
sure.
you know.
So what were those like little moments for you?
Um, Probably having a son was like a big moment, like
Wow,
of like, wow, like, I don't know, my life definitely 100% changed. I honestly don't think I would be here if I didn't have a son.
really?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
Why?
yeah, because I just had no sense of purpose, no
Oh,
sense of
when you say
care.
here, you mean like in this world?
Yeah, literally.
Whoa, I thought you
Yeah.
meant like here on this podcast.
No, here in this world. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I just like, I was doing drugs, I was partying, I was going crazy. I was like, you know, the hot popular girl that could move to wherever the fuck I wanted and do whatever I
'Cause you had
wanted.
money and
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was in high school still,
Oh,
but
I
I
gotcha.
had no goals of doing any type of college.
Were you doing like bad drugs, or was it just like
I mean, cocaine
okay,
is a pretty
yeah,
bad
yeah,
drug.
but like people do.
Yeah, yeah.
You weren't doing like you weren't like shooting heroin.
No, I've never
or
done
like
hair or anything like that.
or
But
like
I was
anything. Like,
partying. I
right.
wasn't focused. I wasn't the like girl in school that was like doing her homework.
Right.
Like no, was never at school, and like I wanted to just have fun. Like all I wanted to do was have fun. I had no sense of like purpose in life.
Were your parents like present? Like,
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. They just had no control over me or what I did.
wow, you're just like a free soul.
Well, my dad. I didn't live with my dad. I lived with my mom.
Oh, that's probably
My
has
parents
something
were
to do with it.
divorced. Yeah, when I was 3.
That definitely has.
So yeah, I grew up with my mom, and I love my mom to death. She is the best person alive, but she's just a complete pushover. Like,
Right.
not that she wanted to be, like, 'cause she
Right.
really did try and like
Yeah, but
tell me what to do, but
yeah.
she just couldn't. There's just
Yeah,
no
I
way
have a
she
feeling
could.
that it would be hard to like control you, and like
Yeah.
also like I don't want to get too deep into this, but like I think having a father figure is like very important.
Super, and
it
I love my
sounds like you
I
didn't
love
really
my
have that.
dad, and he was, you know, he always provided the financial aspect. Like my dad
But that's
always
it.
made good money, and he always, you know, like my dad has helped me in ways more than I could realize now that I've grown up, because I feel like I understand him a little bit better. I think when I was younger, I used to have some resentment,
Me too.
but when I grew up, I understood that, you know, my dad never had a dad, never even met his dad. You know what I mean? My dad grew up in like the projects with no money and 4 brothers and a single mom. Like, so my dad, like he did everything he could to provide financially, and that was his contribution. And now it's my responsibility, you know what I mean, to take what I was given and make the best out of it.
Yeah. That's really sweet. It's interesting. It makes sense. It's still kind of fucked up, but it makes sense. But like, you know, I think that I resonate. Let me rephrase it. I resonate like with a lot that you're saying. Like, I have a lot of challenges like with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like we're also like very similar people.
Yeah.
Where like you know I get a lot
I
of
feel like I feel
yeah.
exactly how you
Yeah.
feel like about your dad, because
yeah.
like you see this person that's a superstar that can do anything, and it's like, what are you doing though, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but no,
No?
like, I respect my dad. Like he's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, I respect my dad. But what's interesting to me is
We're just like, we're
yeah.
just different than them,
Yeah.
but they're still their kids. I don't know how to explain it.
yeah. Well, I think like when you're a kid, or I think that like, there's this dynamic that like when you look at adults and you think that they have it figured out,
Yeah,
or like they're just
totally.
because like they're your dad, like they know everything or they have all the
Exactly.
wisdom.
Yeah.
The reality is that that's not the case.
Yeah.
It's not the case at all.
Not
And,
at all.
You know, they have their own fault, and we all have our own faults, and we
Yeah.
all have our own problems.
Mhm.
And I think like as you get older, you start to kind of understand and realize that, and you know, that dynamic and perspective changes where you're able to kind of have a little bit more empathy and sympathy,
Mhm.
because you can understand maybe where they're coming from. Where once before it was just like, I'm your father, like you do what I tell you, and now you kind of understand like the psychology like behind that.
Mhm.
But you know what's also interesting is like talking about like your dad's background and how that affected him and how that affected his dynamic as a father. Like same thing with me. Like you know, like I know like my dad was like, you know, fucking hit and beat when he was a kid and, you know, hit with the belt, whatever. And my dad's never laid a finger on me.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he could be mean,
Mm-hmm.
like mean. But from his perspective, like, he's super nice, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's not hitting me. He's not touching me. He's not like physically, like, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And so from his perspective, he's like, okay, like, you know, I treat my son like gold.
Yeah.
You know, I treat like I'm super soft on him.
Mm-hmm.
And from my perspective, anybody else looking in, they're like, yo, like, your dad can be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's interesting, like, how, like, your background shapes you and, like, how that perspective.
Totally.
I'm probably going to cut all this out, honestly, because I don't really want to, like, talk shit about my dad yeah. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm about to hit my vape, okay?
yeah.
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can hit your
I haven't hit it this whole time.
You don't need to hide it.
Okay.
Yo, do you fuck with vaping? You also smoke weed every day.
Frick vape.
You don't like vaping,
No.
but you're addicted.
Who is that does? Yes. Who? Well, fuck. I'm not gonna say that. I mean,
You're
yes, I
addicted.
am.
You are.
I am. But
you say that you hate it, but you do it.
yeah, I hate it. It's so bad for you. I'm gonna stop very soon.
That's what everybody says.
Someone's YouTube merch is Frick Vape. I can't remember who. Is it
Like,
Danny
sounds like
Duncan?
Danny Duncan.
Yeah, Frick Vape. Yeah.
Sounds like Danny Duncan. You also told me that. Actually, I'll let you say it.
What?
How do you feel about OnlyFans?
Yes.
Okay, so like, how old are you? You're 24.
I'm 24.
You're a single
I
mother.
think that
You're 24. You're a
Mhm.
single mother.
Mhm.
You do OnlyFans. You make pretty fucking good money.
Yeah.
You said what, like 20 to 30K a month?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that puts you in like the 1% of America.
I think pornography is toxic. Okay, that's what I think. But you can use OnlyFans for other things other than pornography.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I know an ecom guy that sells his ecom course through OnlyFans.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know, yeah.
But you're saying like in terms of like nudity, pornography, which is all stuff that you create and perpetuate.
Yeah.
You think that that's super bad and toxic.
Yeah. But you know, like, fuck, I'm in charge of my OnlyFans. I could stop making porn on there today. Like, I don't have to. I used to fucking only sell Instagram pictures. Like, it's not like I'm on like a fucking schedule where it's like you have to post one fucking dick sucking video Monday and another one on next Monday and another. It's like, no, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
You say that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're saying that you have free will, but I don't think that's the case.
Oh, it is 100% the case. And honestly, after this conversation, you know, maybe I won't post another porn video on there because I don't need to. I'll still make the same amount of money.
That's what you think.
No, I know for a fact that
that's
I
what
will.
You think.
No, I know I will.
So then, why did you ever do that to begin with?
I think my priorities might have gotten a little confused, a little wrong, a little mixed up. I think I might have been trying to chase the bag when I didn't really need to.
But that's my point.
There's other ways to make money, and I learned that from watching your podcast. Like, I mean, there's an infinite amount of ways to make money.
Yeah, but here's what I will say without discounting you or OnlyFans. I mean, like, what you do is probably one of the easier ways to make money.
Yeah, sure.
Like, so, like, you know, I don't want to be okay. I don't want to be a dick.
Hard things are worth it, though.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be a dick.
I've got all the time in the world, so.
Well, I don't want to be a dick, and like I'm sure you work hard.
We love when you say this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you made fun of me last time.
Keep going. I did not. My sister did.
Okay, well, just
keep going.
Okay. Well, like, I just want you to know, like, before I say it, like, I just want you to know that, like, I respect you, like, I value you, like, but like, I'm just gonna be honest and just kind of say what I think. Like,
yeah, totally.
I think like making $20,000 to $30,000 a month, or sorry, rather, I think that making $20,000 to $30,000 a month is incredibly difficult. And it's incredibly difficult if you're in e-com, if you're in drop shipping, if you have an agency, if you work at a job, whatever. I think that like that's a place in your life and a place in your journey that takes, you know, incredible skill, grit, determination, experience, failures. That's a lot of money. And by the way, the people on YouTube and the people on Instagram try to tell you that it's not make 10K a month, get rich quick, blah blah. That's bullshit. To make 20 to 30K a month consistently is valid.
I hear you.
And to do that with OnlyFans, it's kind of easy. It's kind of easy. It's kind of a joke.
I hear you.
Like, you see so many girls that are talentless. They have negative IQ. They have no skill. They have no grit. Never made any sacrifice. They don't know what it's like to ever work at all. And you know, they're making tens of thousands of dollars a month, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some are even making millions.
Yeah.
And so while like I respect you and like I hear you and it's like, oh, like, maybe I'll stop like doing this part, or maybe I'll find other ways to make money. Like, I do think that you're in for like a little bit of a rude awakening where it's like it's not as easy as like taking a picture of your ass and making 2K in a day.
You make it sound easy, but trust me, it took a lot to get to where I was. And for some people, it might have been easy, but for me, it's been a constant grind. So there was grit involved, there was sweat, there was blood, there was tears. It was a process to get to where I am at. And it's not that way necessarily for everyone, but I am confident, that I'm gonna make money in ways other than OnlyFans.
Right. I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're not.
I'm not saying you're saying I'm not either, but I'm just speaking my truth, and that's what's gonna happen for me.
Yeah.
And like I don't spend my time like thinking or worrying about what everyone else has done. I don't care if fucking Billie Jane made fucking $1 million sucking her left toe for 1 second, or if Bob from down the street made $1 million selling his fucking internet business. Like, I don't care. I'm focused on myself. Like, I can't say what everyone else's journey is going to be, or like I can't justify them making that amount of money for doing nothing. And then I hear you when you say that it's hard to make this amount of money, you know what I mean, and that it seems like it came easy, but it didn't come easy for me. And yes, I know that I make a lot of money, but like I worked hard to get to where I'm at. And
but okay, like again, like I don't want to, like I say this all respectfully, but like
I hear what you're saying, but like, yes, I did. Like, this did not happen overnight. It took 3 years to get here.
Right.
And not that it's like not the hardest way to make money, because it's definitely not the hardest way. It's but like it's all relative to like your experience. You know what I mean? So
what is
there are other easy ways to make money other than OnlyFans that I could have made way more easier.
Like what?
I don't know, but there's just an infinite amount of ways to make money, and it's just like the way you're thinking is very limiting, and I can't think that way. Like, I don't want to think in a limiting mindset at all.
What's limiting?
Saying that like OnlyFans is one of the easiest ways to make money, and I'm in for a rude awakening. Like, I know whatever
for a hot chick, like it
doesn't matter. There are unhot chicks that make money on OnlyFans. It doesn't matter that I'm hot. Like,
of course it does.
No, it doesn't. There are people that are not hot
why do people
that make
subscribe
thousands of dollars.
Okay, I'm sure those people exist. But like let's just think about it logically. People sign up for your OnlyFans because they have some sort of sexual fantasy or some sort of sexual attraction to you, right? So chances are, if you're more attractive, more people are going to sign up for you.
It depends on what they're looking for. There are people that are like bigger, like, not to even be rude or anything, but like there are people that want to see like bigger people,
and they want to see people eat. Sure,
and
there are a bunch of different niches. Sure,
and those people aren't necessarily considered hot, like, but they make fuck tons of money on OnlyFans, and it's just like, I see where you're coming from, and that's just not the mindset that I have at all. Like, I'm very determined to be successful.
What's your mindset? What's my mindset? I'm confused. What's not the mindset that you have?
Because you're saying like, what I accomplished, in simple terms, what I accomplished is easy, and everything else that takes effort to make what I'm making is going to be hard. And it's not necessarily true to my belief. Like, what I did was hard. I don't care if what I'm going to accomplish is hard or fucking easy. I'm here to accomplish it. Like, okay. Does that make sense?
That's hard. Okay, so then maybe I don't understand, like, what's so hard? And I'm sure a lot of people watching this resonate and feel what I'm saying. So like, maybe like, can you educate us and tell, like, because I'm sure there was blood, sweat, and tears behind the scenes, but like, what were like the most challenging parts?
I had to make what
was like, oh my god, you talk about blood, sweat, and tears, like I can like tell you like moments from my journey.
I remember when I was in high school and I was fucking 16 and I sent a picture of my tits for like the first time to this guy, and it wasn't the guy that I was dating, and he showed the whole football team because I didn't break up with my boyfriend to start dating him, and the football team somehow got it posted onto like a Twitter account, which was like the nudes for the high schoolers, and so everyone saw my tits, and like I wanted to literally kill myself. Like, I was so depressed. Like, I was like, oh my god, everyone's seen what I look like blah blah blah, you know what I mean? And now I post like porn. So it's like, I didn't always think this way, you know what I mean? There was like some type of like internal struggle there, like being comfortable with even making porn, like, you know what I mean? Like, so like, and then there's like, I know people are like, what is your son gonna think? You know what I mean? Like, but like, I had to come to all these conclusions on my own, you know what I mean? Like, this didn't just all happen overnight. Like, I don't know what else to say. I can't explain it to you. This has been a 3-year process, and like there's thousands of little tiny moving parts that all went into it. Thousands of dollars that I invested into my own OnlyFans when I was trying to, you know, promote the meme pages. Thousands of meme pages I would sit there and message to find ones that were actually legit. You know what I mean? Like it's a struggle. It's a grind. Like, it was hard for me to get where I'm at, and it will be probably hard for me to make my next business, but I'm still going to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
so like, what were other parts of the grind? So like, you talked about like messaging meme pages, like, you know, like what are like some of the other like behind the scenes things that are like involved?
I don't know if you will relate to this as much because you're a guy, but like a lot of women have problems like with their insecurities and their self-image. A lot of the girls that I know that could make a fuck ton of money on OnlyFans won't even do it because they don't like how they look. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, there's so many things that go into it.
Is that like hard work? Or is that like...
It's internal work you have to do. I mean, is it not hard work? If a girl can make $1 million who is pretty as fuck but can't tell herself she's pretty, so therefore she's not making the $1 million, like, that's hard work.
She doesn't want it. She doesn't want it. No, I wouldn't call that hard work. That I would say that's like overcoming like a limiting belief, or like that's overcoming like some
sort of... That's still hard work to the girl that has sitting on the $1 million because she can't fucking tell herself she's pretty. I mean, like...
When I talk about hard work, I'm talking about like me staying up from like, you know, morning till like 3 a.m. pulling all night.
Yeah, but you're rare as fuck. Like, not everyone does that, bro. Like, you're rare. Like, I've been like, nobody I know does that except for me. Like, literally. Right. None of my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not normal. That's because you want to achieve something big. A lot of people don't have that mindset.
Sure.
That's the mindset that I have. So I don't know.
I agree. I mean, that's why like I'm where I am, right? And like, but I'm saying like if you want to like, I'm saying like if you want to be successful in other areas, like you're saying, like, hey, like, you know, maybe I'm gonna stop pornography.
Yeah, it's gonna take hard work.
Hey, maybe I'm gonna stop OnlyFans. It's like, honestly, I don't know if you're aware like how difficult it is to truly make it.
I'm probably not.
Without like selling pictures of like your tits.
No,
like,
I'm probably not aware, but I'm still determined. So.
Yeah, well, I respect that.
Yeah.
And I think that like determination is probably the most important part.
It is.
And so I think that like if you really are determined and you want it bad enough, you will make it happen. You can achieve anything.
Exactly.
You will make it happen.
Yeah, and I believe that in you. I believe in you. I think that you have bigger goals than what you've accomplished now. And
for sure.
You know, I know you're determined, and that's what's going to get it accomplished. So, and if you're not determined, nothing's going to no one's going to do it but you. And like, I know you can relate to that because you started this whole thing by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you had help, yes, but like no one could have made this possible if you didn't put the determination and the hours and the fucking work in. Like, you wouldn't be where you are today 100%. With me in this room
100%
if you didn't want it. And it's about caring and about wanting it. Like, you care, you know.
So
you
when
have
you
a
say
passion.
Want it, like what is it for you? Because like straight up, like I'll tell you.
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm still figuring it out. And like watching your podcast, like I don't know. Like, I don't really know what I want. I don't know. Right. But I know that I want more freedom. Like, I remember when I woke up and I had that 9 to 5 and I was like, I want fucking freedom. That was the first thing on my to-do list. I want freedom to be able to do whatever the fuck I want and have money to do whatever I want. You know what I mean? And I can't do whatever I want, but I can do pretty much anything. You know what I mean? And I wanted to be able to allow my son to do whatever he wants. Like, I spend so much money like on taking him to do stuff. It's probably excessive.
Like what?
Like, there's a place in Austin called Kalahari. It's like an indoor water park. It's like fucking $700 to go for the fucking day. But we go there all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Just stuff like that. Like, I remember my mom always took me to the movies when I was growing up, and that was fun. So I wanted to be able to take my kid to do some like fun stuff. And so yeah, I want more freedom. So right now I have freedom. I know I want more of it. And I know that I want to...
What does that look like? Like
being able to wake up and like go and do and be anywhere that I want. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I have money and access to stuff like close to me, but I want the freedom to be able to talk to like more creative people, like people that are like minded than me. I want the freedom to like have engaging conversations. I want the freedom to like also help people know that they have the freedom to do what they fucking want. You know what I mean? Like,
so how are you going to get there?
Like a day by day, step by step, focusing on myself and like aligning with my purpose and like my passion and like just realizing the things more and more that I want. You know what I mean?
Which is not OF.
No, not at all. And I don't think there's anything wrong with OF. It's just not porn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have all these fans. I can use it to my advantage, so I can like spread this message on there. And that's what I did from the beginning. I think you're underestimating who my fans are. Like, I know my fans, and I know that they love me for me.
I'm
Straight
sure
up.
they love you for you, but like I'm also sure that they're thinking with their dicks.
Yeah,
And
but what does that
if
matter?
you
Every man's thinking with their
if you
dick.
weren't an attractive blonde girl, like I don't think that like
But that's who I am, so why does it matter? Like,
well, you're saying that they love you for you and they love
yeah.
you for like not your superficial parts.
Yeah,
They love you
but,
for your message. Like I would probably disagree with that.
well,
I would vehemently disagree with that and tell
I mean,
you that
I have
that
150,000 fans on TikTok, and I don't post porn on there. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I don't know your TikTok. I don't know what you're doing on TikTok.
I'm
But
talking to
yeah.
people, street interviews, like going up to people and
Yeah, I
stuff
mean
like that.
that's viral content that's entertaining
Yeah.
and fun.
Yeah.
And you're an attractive like
Yeah.
blonde girl that like probably like helps with the video.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, and I feel you. I feel you
Yeah.
on everything that you were saying too. Like for me, like right now, like it really just is about like accumulation of wealth and power.
But
And
you also said that you're focusing on your passion more and like stuff like that, which is important.
honestly, I'm not like focusing on my passions too much. Like
You said you were gonna like start taking your YouTube more seriously and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
yeah, I'm definitely like starting to take my YouTube more seriously. But like I also see that as like strategic steps to increase wealth and power.
Yeah.
Like I think that like one of the biggest currencies is clout.
Yeah.
Like the fact like the fact that I'm here today, like, yo, I'm not paying for this studio. We're in like this lit ass fucking studio that was built by Joe Rogan's studio builder,
Mm-hmm.
because I shot a text message last night and this guy gave me the key to his entire building and office, and we're here now. Like that's power.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine doing that, a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't imagine this happening 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I'm 21 years old. I should be at college. I should be in college drinking beers and smoking a bong with my friends. Or like an intern grabbing somebody coffee.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty fucking crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. And like at the same time, like I also realize though and understand that like while I've for sure like reached like high levels, especially like for my age, I also understand that like in the grand scheme of things, like I'm on floor maybe 3 out of floor, a million, floor infinity.
Yeah.
Right. And so like for me, like there's so much more to like for me to climb. Like there's so many more like mountains and there's so
Yeah.
much more like money and power and etc. And like to be honest, like that is really what I'm motivated by right now. And because I think like that leads to true freedom and independence. Like I don't have tattoos on my face, but like I have for sure have a chip on my shoulder and will do shit that people tell me that I can't do. And I'm able to operate in ways that people can't even fathom. My high school teachers that used to talk shit about me or tell me that, like whatever. Not that they didn't tell me that I wasn't gonna be successful, but to like, that completely undervalued me and devalued me and had it out for me. I make their entire salary, their fucking yearly salary in 2 weeks. Like to me, that's revenge. To me, like that's power.
Yeah, but do you not find fulfillment from like helping others?
I do. I find fulfillment from helping others.
So do you think you might feel more fulfilled if instead of having a vendetta or like having resentment or like having to prove a point to your teacher, you're more trying to show your teacher like, hey, you don't have to do things this way. You know what I mean? Like showing them that there's another way. Because like, don't you feel empathy for that person? Like that teacher that's locked themselves in the box? Like that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's interesting. Honestly, like no, I don't feel empathy for them, and I'm not like trying to like help them. Personally, I don't think that you can help everybody, and I think that like my energy and my time is incredibly valued, and I have a finite amount, right? And so if I try to help every single person that I interact with, and every single teacher or this person or that kid, then I'm left with nothing. And so for me personally, I'd rather direct that into people that I believe in. When I see a kid that's like me, that's 14 years old, and that's like clearly it has grit and desire and like, has motivation and vision, right? Like that's somebody who I'm like happy to dump everything into to help and, advise and give guidance and support and connections and networking and money, whatever it takes.
I'm talking about like internally. So I'm not saying like materialistic things. I'm not saying like physically you need to do something to help. I'm saying internally, like instead of having this battle in your mind of trying to prove something, have it be empathy towards them and help them internally to help you
How would I help
have
them?
more peace
How would I help them?
by valuing them for who they are and where they're at in their life and not judging them
Why?
for the
Why?
way that they judged you.
I don't value them, and I do judge them. What, like, I'm confused.
You don't. I mean, yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Got you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you don't hold any like anger or resentment or anything towards anybody in your
That's
life.
part of being human. I choose to let that go because it doesn't do me any good.
So like
or
that
them.
kid that like leaked that photo of you when you were 16 years old and drove you to the brink of suicide.
It's got me where I am today.
You don't hold any resentment
No,
against him?
none at all. That's only holding me back.
Zero. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. That's only holding me back. Why would I?
What do you mean? Why would you?
Why would I want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, why would I want to do that? Because it's only holding me back. And I understand that they did it because of a reflection of where they're at in their own life at that time. So I have empathy for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
My belief is, like if somebody tries to like fuck with me or like somebody tries to like, like harm me or harm my business or harm my loved ones, like I'm going to come down on them and like I'm going to come down on them harder. And I'm not just going to sit there and say, hey, like, I still value you and I have empathy for you. But you are like, there's a reason why you're doing that, like whatever. And like, I forgive you and it's all good. And like, you can walk all over me and you can shit on me and try to like come for me and ruin my business. Like, no, like if somebody tries to fuck with me, like I will burn them. Like I will fucking run over them with an 18 trailer and like ruin them. Like, and I will make it like a point, like to ensure that like they never like fucking, like can I don't want to be like too crazy here. Like I'm a 21-year-old econ guy. I don't run like the fucking mafia. But like the point is that like, if somebody wrongs me, like I am 100% going to take that personally, and fight back
I
and come
understand
swinging.
how you feel. I don't take anything personally, ever. And it's caused it's honestly brought me a lot of peace.
Well, don't you think that perpetuates you to be a victim? Like, don't you think that victimizes you in a lot of ways?
Either a victim or the opposite.
So like if somebody's like wrongs you and you don't fight back, you don't step up, they're going to continue to wrong you.
No, you can step away.
Sometimes it's not that simple.
It can be.
It can.
Yes, it can.
So sometimes it's not that simple. So what do you tell the kid that's in school and this person's on their bus or at their schoolyard or it's the teacher or it's their mom, like, and they have to see that person every single day. You can't just I'll just walk away.
Yeah, you just have to find that place inside yourself to walk away without walking away then.
You really believe that?
I do, 100%.
So basically just like taking other people's shit and like not doing anything about it?
No, you're not taking their shit. You're just letting them live out their shit and not letting it affect you. How often do you spend on TikTok looking for like new business ideas? Like, do you like get on your phone and just scroll through social media, or do you have like, because I know your chocolate idea came from TikTok. So do you have like an allotted like 30 minutes in the afternoon or 30 minutes in the morning where like you're specifically on there just to look for inspiration for new ideas? Or do you just like get on like everyone else and then find ideas naturally?
Yeah, it's natural.
Really?
Yeah. Like I don't
So
have like,
when do you get on TikTok then? Like when do you find time for
randomly.
social? Really?
Yeah, randomly.
Really?
I don't have like an allotted like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and like figure out a business idea.
Really?
Like okay, so for example, like when I walk into like a supermarket or I walk into a store, like I see things differently than most people. Like I walk into a cafe, most people are thinking about like what flavored, like coffee that they're getting. Like I'm like subconsciously like scanning the room and like analyzing how many customers are there and like what their turnover is and like what kind of like monthly revenue they're doing and like how many people are working in the back and like
so
finding efficiencies and
when do
inefficiencies.
you as a
like,
person who's got so much going on during the day, how often do you get on social media and literally have time to just scroll on social media? When do you do that?
I'm not that busy. That's a fallacy.
So when do you do that? Are you on social media all day?
Not all day. I mean, like anybody else. Like,
I never get on social
okay,
media. Like,
okay.
and I make that
Wow.
a purposely thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't use Instagram or
I
TikTok.
mean, I'm interested. I'll check out my screen time.
Yeah.
It's probably too much right now, honestly.
So I like purposely made a choice not to get on social media
So
anymore.
like for me, like I wasn't on any social. I was just on Twitter because like that was me creating content, not like consuming content. But now like I do consume content because it's unfortunately necessary evil. Like it is important.
But what if you structured it to where it's like on your Google Calendar, like 2 p.m. every day from 2 to 2:30, this is my time where I'm on social media.
Yeah, to me, like that doesn't flow well with my personality. Like I'm not that person that's like from
Scheduled.
this person. Like I need to schedule like because there's so much going on. But like there's some stuff.
Do you
where,
think doing that would be beneficial or no? Because that's
no, because I think that I would get bored. Like it would become like turn it from something fun into work, and like it just wouldn't like mesh with me. But like yeah, so like for me, like in terms of like business ideas and like things that I want to create, like there's no like deliberate, hey, I'm gonna meditate, or like hey, I'm going to like sometimes I'll do like a brainstorming session
unpredictable.
with the body, but like it just comes like naturally from seeing things or from walking. And then B, now like I'm at this point where I'm super fortunate where like, I have this small following on Twitter. I have this network of incredible other entrepreneurs, and opportunities now fall into my lap. Yeah. Like left and right. Yeah. And now it's about like, what do I say yes to and what do I say no to? Because I have to be very deliberate with my time and my money. Time more than anything, because time is finite. Everybody only has 24 hours a day. And so it's very important that what I'm saying yes to, even if it might be ROI positive, like what I'm saying yes to is the most like this is the best investment, right? Because there are 800 other things, and like I have to say no to a lot of attractive things that like 2 years ago would have been a no-brainer. Yeah, job offers, like long-term consulting offers, like equity in businesses. Like I say no to shit all the time, and I think that.
What do you find yourself mostly saying yes to nowadays?
It's a good question. What do I say yes to? Honestly, like I haven't reached that point where like I'm thinking like 10 years ahead, like 5 years ahead. I'm still in that like, hey, like I need to like for me to be comfortable and to reach that point, I probably need like $10 to $20 million like liquid. And so like once I reach that point, then I'm going to be thinking about, okay, like what do I want to do with my life? What do I want to do in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? Right now, like I am honestly still thinking about like cash grabs. You don't even
want to ask yourself, what do I want to have accomplished in 5 years? You won't even ask yourself that now.
Not particularly. Like I know that like where I'm at is an amazing path, and it's kind of impossible for me to like know where I'll be in 5 years. But I know that like if I take all the actions that I'm doing currently, like I'll be very happy with where I'm going to be in 5 years.
Do you think it would be beneficial to sit down and write down like what you wish to have accomplished in 5 years, even if it might not happen because you can't predict the future? But do you think that would be beneficial?
Honestly, I don't even know what I want though. Like if you would have told me that like I want to be running like a sex chocolate brand, if I probably wouldn't have said that. Like
you could have said I want to run a business.
Oh sure,
like a business that makes this much.
But I have those like internally. Like I obsess over those every single day. Like I know like in 5 years from now, like I probably don't need to get into it, but like there are like it's not even like defined. It's just like my like. In my
values,
energy,
your core values, or something like that.
Not even. I hate to say core values, but like it's just like within me. It's like like I know what my potential is. I know what I can do, and I'm excited. Like I know that like in 5 years, like kind of where I want to be. 100%.
Cool.
How about you?
I don't know. Like all the stuff that I'm reading is like, write down your 5-year plan and like make sure you have a goal like for like in the next 5 to 10 years. And like for me, it's kind of hard to put that down like into words, like what I want to have accomplished in the next 5 years. Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm just so focused on right now. Right. But I don't know. It just seems kind of hard for me to write that down.
I don't think anybody has that answer. And
I honestly think it would be beneficial for me. I feel like it would be
maybe
slightly
for
beneficial.
you because like it sounds like you're like not unhappy with your circumstances, but like you don't want to.
Yeah, I think
like,
we're in different positions.
Right. Like it sounds like
Do you think maybe before you started this business that would have been beneficial for you?
I've always been this way since I was a kid.
No, it wouldn't have
Like
been
since I was
beneficial.
like 10 years old, if you ask me like what I want to do, like I want to be an entrepreneur, like I want to have run my own businesses.
think
I
that-
want to be a boss, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so like I've always had this vision and like I've
Mhm.
stuck through this vision.
Yeah.
What was your question?
Cool. I mean, you pretty much answered. I was just gonna say, like, do you think that 5 years ago, if you would have wrote down what I want to accomplish in 5 years, that would have been beneficial to where you're at now? No.
No, honestly, I mean, like, but like, I knew 5 years ago, like,
That you
where I
wanted-
wanted to,
yeah.
like, I wanted to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
don't know if that's necessarily like a good thing either. But I always like look at people, and I do pass judgment, like, and like a lot of times I look at like somebody that's 25 or 30, and I'm like, yo, like, do I want to be like that guy when I'm 25? Do I want to be like that guy when I'm 30?
Mhm.
And I like kind of like found like I create like this like ideal character like in my head, right?
Mhm.
You know, and that's like who I want to like embody, and that's who I want to be. But I'm also like unique, right? Like I'm not gonna be like a carbon clone of like an Iman Godzi or like a Zuckerberg or like whatever it is, right? Like I know like I'm unique. I'm different, and but I always had like this like really like strong feeling that like I was destined like to do big things. And like a lot of
you talked about that on your like last podcast too, and I think it's important to like note that I think every single person alive has that feeling, and
I don't know about that.
I think that they don't live up to their full potential, and I think the reason they don't watch those like videos or learn the self-help is because they don't want to realize what their potential is and what they're not living up to.
I agree with
and
that.
that is what y'all talked about on that
No,
podcast, and that's yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree that like everybody has potential and 99% of people don't live up to it.
Yeah.
But like what I have, which might be ego, is like I have this feeling that like I deserve to be here.
Yeah. You do.
And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take it.
Totally.
A lot of other people like oh, I might have this potential, but like they care or they don't care.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like it is a necessity.
Yeah.
That like this is where I'm at, and in 5 years from now, this is where I'm gonna be at.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to just be like a normal person. I'm not just going to be like, and I was miserable when I was absolutely miserable when I was like, the average college kid.
I think
I wasn't good at being
people
average.
are actually miserable. Like I think 99% of people are miserable, and I think that they all have the same potential that you have and that I have, but they just don't, live up to it or follow through with it.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried playing like the normal game. Like when I was in high school, I got good grades, not the best grades. When in college, I went to a good college, not the best college. I went to the University of Michigan. I didn't go to an Ivy League. When I was at school, I got into a good frat, not the best frat. When I applied for the business frat, they rejected me. Like in my life, like when I was playing like by the rules and playing everybody's game, I was average. I was good, right? But fuck that. Like, why am I going to let people tell me like where I stand? Like, why am I going to let people tell me, like, this is the class that you're in? This is the job that you get. This is the college that you deserve to be in. And so, like, I've rewritten my own book. Like, I've basically said, like, hey, I am not playing by that game, and I'm going to create my own game. And a lot of people don't even have, like, the imagination to step outside and leave that world. Because they don't understand that, like, those rules aren't actually real.
Yeah. Totally.
I was doing this summer like program, and the program had basically told me like, listen, they were placing me in like an internship, and the program had told me, listen, Oliver, like it's very hard to get you the position that you want. You are not in school. These firms want people that are at Harvard, Stanford, Yale, MIT. I said, like, I mean, respectfully, like, my brand is going to do over 8 figures this year. I've built scores of companies. This is my, me, this is my background. I can, I likely have friends or know people that work in these companies, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I find that a little bit ridiculous. She said, I find it ridiculous too, but that's how the world works. She said, when I send them an applicant who has a Vanderbilt degree, they laugh and they get upset at me because it's not Harvard, Yale, or Stanford, right? I said, well, that's ridiculous. She's like, but that's how it is. There are walls up. And I said, sure, there might be a wall up, but you could put a ladder and climb over the wall. You could dig a tunnel and go under the wall. You could put a hole through the wall and, go through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
There are 800 different options. I don't believe in like that wall that you're subscribing to. My ideology, I don't see a wall.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want to go in, I can get in.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that like, impossible. Anyway, a couple of days later, I'm texting one of my buddies and he said like, hey, like what company were you going to work at? And I said, this place, this is where they put me. He said, that place is kind of mid. Let me talk to a couple of my buddies that work at X, Y, Z, the same firms that she said was like impossible for me to be at. He's like, dude, one phone call, you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And like I wanted to screenshot that and just like send that to her and like kind of rub that in her face. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I'm rambling here, but like the point of the story is that like is to do your own thing. Is to be like independent and not let other people like tell you like your self-worth or your value. Because if you
I
do,
think it's
like,
important to notice how what you wanted to do was to, prove to her that you were right. Because inherently, you should already know that you're right.
well, I knew that I was right.
But you should know that she knows deep down, too.
She doesn't though.
Deep
And I
down,
I
she
want
does.
to rub it in her face.
Deep down, she does.
She doesn't.
She does deep down.
She doesn't because she's
Listen, deep fucking down, she knows.
It's
It's a part of being human.
Here's the thing: is like she doesn't want to believe that, because if she believes that, that challenges everything that she knows
believes in.
about the world
But
and about herself.
Yeah, totally.
So she will do anything to admit that that is the truth, or that she's right.
It doesn't mean that she doesn't
she
know
will
it,
die
though.
on that hill.
You're right. But it doesn't mean she doesn't still know.
Maybe there's a 0.01% chance that she knows it, but she refuses to believe it and accept it.
So what's the purpose of you going and rubbing it in her face? Not that you did, but just notice how that was your first thought.
100%.
You know?
I want to screenshot it.
Because if you like, it's like I'm talking to Kanye West who doesn't know he's talking to Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I'm talking to Kanye West who doesn't know he's Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, don't care what other people think at all. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it matters. It does matter. It matters to me.
Yeah.
Like, it does. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that like in a large way, like that's been a lot of my fuel.
Yeah.
Where it's like to show people like, yo, like you're wrong.
I just feel like you
And
have enough fuel inside of yourself that you don't need that kind of negative fuel from other people.
You know, there's a study done on like some of the most successful people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And a lot of people have like these beliefs like, hey, like the wealthiest people, like they all work super hard.
Yeah.
Not true.
Yeah.
There are a lot of rich people that don't work hard. A lot of rich people, wake up early. Not true. A lot of rich people wake up in the middle of the day. Some are night owls, whatever. So there's a study done, and there's like this meta-analysis, across like thousands of other studies, and I don't know the details, but there was this massive study done. And they found that there were 3 common traits among the most successful and wealthy individuals. The first was they had some sort of like self-belief and like intense desire that like they were destined for greatness and they were going to do like massive things. Call it ego, call it, whatever. Like, they just felt like they deserved it, which like I couldn't agree with about myself more. The second thing is that they do one thing and they do it for a long period of time, which actually like makes sense. Like anybody that's like super successful or makes a fuck ton of money, they've been in the same space for so long, like that becomes part of their competitive advantage. Like maybe they're not better than other people, but they've outlasted other people, and so like they've been able to milk the rewards that have come from like this long journey. Mm-hmm. The third, which I think you're gonna find surprising, and is actually like a contradiction of the first one, is that they're wildly insecure.
Yeah, totally.
And that they feel like they have something to prove, and that they feel like people didn't believe in them, and they have like this chip on their shoulder, and they have like this, this little like internal fire. Mm-hmm. And so like 1 in 3 like is a really big like juxtaposition, because on one hand they think like, I'm a god, like I deserve to be this, like I'm going to be super successful. But then on the other hand,
opposite.
They're also like, am I enough? They're always questioning themselves.
Yeah.
And I think like that unique combination is what breeds success. And that's not just me, right? That's not my theory. That's
Yeah.
like what the study found.
Yeah.
And I think that it's also like very true of myself.
Yeah, totally. I could totally see that. I agree with the first one. I 100% feel that way too. Like I've always felt like I was meant to achieve big things, and I feel like I technically have, not
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
not that I like,
Absolutely.
not that I think anything like that I've achieved is,
I mean, on average.
I think my point is like, yes, I feel the exact way you're describing in the first one, but I also believe that it's within everyone else's power to achieve that as well. That's the difference.
I agree that it's in everybody's power.
Yeah.
I just think that most people don't want it.
I agree with that too. Yeah.
Or they like, yeah, they
don't
don't care enough.
They don't care.
They don't care
Yeah.
enough.
And you have to care.
And like for me, not being where I'm at, like I'd be depressed. Maybe I'd kill myself.
Totally.
I don't know. Like if I was like still like at college, like ripping a bong, like, I would be miserable.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are completely content with that. In fact, they're happy with that. And there's no other place that they'd rather be.
Are they happy?
Yeah, I would say that they're happy.
I don't know.
I would say that they're happy. Most people are.
I don't think most people aren't happy.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could tell you like in college, I think most people are happy. They're like at a nice school being paid for by their parents.
Are they really happy though? Exactly. It's like,
yeah. I mean,
look what they're doing every day with their time.
I mean, doesn't sound that bad. Hanging out with the boys.
Sounds like I would want to kill myself.
Hanging out with the boys.
I would want to kill myself.
Personally, I would.
Same.
Personally, I would.
Personally, me
but
too.
most people enjoy that.
Are they lying to themselves?
I don't know.
I think they are.
I don't think so. Either. I don't think so. Like I think that like a lot of people like they're content with living that life.
I don't know because I know people like that.
Yeah,
you know what they do? Complain all the fucking time. Negative all the fucking time. Always looking for the next high. All the fucking time. Always looking for the next waste of thing to do their time with. Like thing to waste their time doing. All the fucking time. All they do. They wake up, get on their fucking phone, check social media. Like they fucking spend their whole day like in a fucking on like a racing wheel, like a fucking hamster wheel.
Right.
Literally.
Right. But like they're happy with that.
I don't think they are.
Then why wouldn't they change it?
Because they don't want to.
They don't want to do the work.
They don't want, and
they don't
what
want to
you
do the
talked
work.
about in that other podcast. They don't want to admit what they're capable of, because then it's harder to be comfortable doing what you're doing and being complacent.
I also think that other people just have like different values, zones, and goals. Like for me, like having financial independence and like being rich and being powerful, like is a goal and a priority of mine. A lot of other people like could care less about money, could care less about power, could care less about like influence and clout and and so like for them, like working a day, clocking in, clocking out, ripping a bong with their friends, playing Super Smash Bros. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's fair to just say like that they're miserable and they have more. Sure, they have more potential. We could all agree that they have more potential, but they're completely content with that life and that lifestyle. And
I don't know.
I think most people are.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree. I don't know.
I don't like just because like they're not reaching their full potential doesn't make them like miserable or unhappy. Like I think that we're just like both like type A people that like need to reach our potential in order for us to be like content. But a lot of people are not type A.
I don't know. It's just maybe I haven't met anyone like that. But like from my experience, at least the people in my life close to me, like they're not happy. They're just not happy. Like they might say that they're happy, but they're not. And, like, they might say that they want to change, but they don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just the people that I know. The people that I know that have 9-to-5s. The people that I know that are, most of them are my family. Like, you know what I mean? Just the people in my direct family that have 9-to-5s,
What, they're not happy at all?
No. I mean, they say they're happy, but I can tell that they're not because the comments that they make every day, you know what I mean, about wanting to do this or wanting to do that or be this type of person or be better in this type of way. But what active changes are they making, to have that into fruition?
Well, yeah, exactly. Making those active changes takes work.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And as a result, most people avoid it.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a very good saying. It's like, make hard decisions to live an easy life or make easy decisions to live a hard life.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Yeah, there's another quote that's when there's a task at hand to do, you are the task at hand, whether it be sweep or do the dishes.
I do not understand that, if I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah. When there's a task at hand, you are the task at hand.
Oh, to get yourself to do it, you're saying?
No, it's like when there's a task at hand and it's an image of a man sweeping, you are the task at hand. So something like minuscule that might seem like it's like not a big deal to get done, it's pretty much saying like you put that off because you think it's not important, but that's like the whole bigger picture in and of itself.
Oh,
You put that one thing
yeah.
off, you're putting your whole life off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, damn. So I
Procrastinate.
gotta sweep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make your bed every day.
Do you make your bed every day?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
So what does like a day in your life look like? Like you're
Well, my days
you're an
have been.
OnlyFans model. Like
Yeah.
you do OF. You like and you make $20,000 to $30,000 a month
Well,
from that.
yeah.
What does a day in your life look like?
Well, my days are, they're changing. They are, I've been, I've been recently, like, I've been really pushing content. So, I'll wake up, I'll spend time off my phone. Like, I don't check my phone till like 30 minutes after I'm already awake. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's important. So I don't look at my phone. I meditate in the morning, I work out. After I meditate, I check my phone, and then
But so you meditate. Okay, go start over.
so
So,
I wake up.
yep.
I meditate, and then I check my phone.
Okay.
Then I work out, and
What
then
does that look like? Like do you lift
like an hour
weights?
in the
Do you
gym.
like do you do cardio?
I like the rower a lot. I do the rower, and then I lift weights. Yeah,
And like when
I
you
don't
work
do the
out, are you just like
cardio.
kind of going to the gym, or do you like get like
No,
work
I
out
get
hard?
I work out hard. Like, and I don't listen to music. Like, I don't
Whoa.
listen to rap music. I don't listen to any music anymore, unless it's like a special occasion, with my friends, which hasn't been very
Oh, you don't
often.
listen to any music at all?
No, I don't. Yeah, because it just like it takes control over my mind. Like, I don't know. Like, when I listen to the music, it's like it's literally taking control of my mind. Like, I can't explain it any other way other than that.
You know that listening to music is like haram in Islam? It means like it's not like it's not good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Which is
I could
interesting.
totally
Yeah.
see that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I don't listen to music anymore. When I work out, I'll sometimes listen to like a podcast or like something like that instead, or just nothing.
What do you think about when you're working out when you're not
I try
listening
and
to
focus
anything?
on my breath, and I try and meditate while I'm working out. So pretty much I just be aware of my thoughts and I don't judge them. So I just like watch my thoughts, try and focus on my breath, and I notice like how many subconscious thoughts I have while I'm working out, and then I recenter myself back to my breath every time. If that makes sense.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, then what does the rest of your day look like?
And then
So what time is it? Like
it'll be like 9 a.m. ish by
oh
the
wow.
time that
So
I'm
what time
done.
did you wake up?
Usually I wake up at like 7, but sometimes I can't help it. Like today I woke up at like 6:20.
You're just so excited
Yeah.
to be here.
So it just depends. But a lot of the times, like I'll set an alarm and my body naturally wakes up before the
Yeah, me
alarm.
too.
It doesn't even matter.
Me too.
Like it doesn't even if I don't set an alarm, naturally I'm awake. Like I cannot stop myself from waking up. It's like my mind tells myself like wake up now. Like it's just crazy. But yeah. Wake up. Yeah, be done at the gym by like 8:30 to 9, something like that. And then I don't eat like all day till like the very end of the day. So
Really?
breakfast isn't even a thing for me. Yeah.
You don't eat lunch either?
No, not usually. Sometimes I will though, but then I will read. Like I do like my self work stuff. Like I'll read a book or take notes. Like I don't read without taking notes. So I carry like my notebook with me everywhere, and then I'll read and then I'll take notes, and I'll make myself do that for like at least an hour or so. And then I'll have a bunch of content planned for that day, like either whether it be going and filming with my YouTube filmer or making TikToks or, OnlyFans content, something of that nature. And then, my son's in like every sport imaginable, so there'll be some type of usually practice or something like that by the end of the day.
So wait, so how long are you making content for?
Few hours a day, probably like anywhere from 1 to 4 hours a day.
And are you like doing all the editing yourself and or
So I originally I was doing all that
course.
myself, but like now all I do, like I pay someone to edit my YouTube videos. I pay
course.
someone to edit my TikToks.
Oh, they edit your TikToks?
Yeah, I pay someone to edit my
Is your editor any
TikToks.
good?
He's really good. Yeah.
Awesome.
He's got a lot of followers on TikTok. I love him. He's the best. His name is Blake Messick.
How much does he charge like edit a YouTube video?
He'll charge me like $250 per YouTube video.
And then how much
And
for
my
like?
YouTube videos have been like 5 minutes long,
Okay.
but I'm about to start making them like a little bit longer, so it might be a little bit more.
And how much for a TikTok?
25 per TikTok, and they usually
It's not bad.
they come straight out of my YouTube videos too.
Right, you just clips them up. And,
yeah.
And they're like they're well edited.
Yeah, they're great. I love them.
I pay like $600 a YouTube video right now.
Really?
It's a lot.
Well, mine is totally an expense. Like you, like I'm not making money off of it yet. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So, and I don't make as much money as you, but like I know that it's important to invest in myself. You know what I mean? So I don't mind spending the money on it. But that was a decision that I had to make because originally I was doing it all myself, and I just realized like I could be spending my time on something different. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I made the decisions. I paid for that's only been this past month actually that I have, maybe a month and a half that I've had an editor for my YouTube videos, and I've had a YouTube for a while. But I didn't post videos on YouTube until like 2 months, maybe a month ago. Like I stopped doing it for like 2 years. Once I broke up with that YouTuber, I just stopped doing YouTube. And then recently, like this last month, I started doing it again.
Word.
But yeah.
Okay, so do you like content for 1 to 4 hours, and then your son is like in a bunch of sports?
Yeah, so there's usually like a baseball practice.
And do you watch his practice, or you just kind of drop him off?
No, I go to practice.
Wow, you go to all of his practices?
Of course, yeah.
Are you like the only parent there, or do a lot of parents?
No, it's a community.
Really?
It's a strong
all go
community.
to practice?
They all do, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Obviously games.
Usually
not
it's
practice.
No, practice, yeah. Usually it's one of the parents, not both. But yeah, parents go to practice, and it's a strong community too. It's really cool.
What's that like when you go to practice? Do people like know that you do OnlyFans and like?
I don't know, but he's been in the same type of sports group. Like they all move up in leagues together, so it's the same parents that we've been with for the sports for the past like 3 years. So
Gotcha.
I've never honestly even had like more than like a few word conversations with any of them, but they're all really
parents?
nice. Really?
Yeah, I thought you said it was like super tight community.
It is, but like
you don't talk.
I mean, everyone's just like there for each other. You know what I mean? We're all there to watch our kids play, but we're all like there for each other, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And like,
but you've only had 3 words with them.
I have a strong family, so like his dad, he comes to the practices. He engages a lot more with them. I'm not a very like I'll say hi, how are you, but like I'm not gonna get into like those type of details because I'm there for my son. Like, and I don't really want to know about your 9 to 5. Yeah, like I don't want to know about your your waitress job, like, or something like that. Like, yes, that's great, but like I'm just here for my son. You know what I mean?
Right.
But his grandma, my son's dad's mom, comes to all of the practices, all of the games, and she's like the mom of the sports group. Like if they have a question, they'll ask her. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
So
and like every day?
No, not every day. It's like twice a week.
Oh, gotcha.
But this is the last week of like games. So like his last 2 baseball games are Friday and Saturday. So
gotcha.
So yeah.
And then what? You pick up your son, you go home, and then.
Yeah, I mean, that's really it.
Do you cook? Do you order in? Do you dine out?
Like... I don't order in. I cook sometimes, but it's like nothing special. And I started meal prepping. My grandma, I've been paying her like $200 ish a week to like meal prep for me, like workout meals. So usually I'll do that, and that'll be like my dinner.
Wow. Do you also pay for the groceries too?
$200. That's with the groceries.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
That's lit.
Yeah, and I love it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's the grandma that I used to live with.
Right. For those that don't know, do you want to tell like a little backstory there?
Yeah, but like, what do you want me to say?
Whatever
It's such a long story. I don't really.
Okay.
I used to live with my grandma. Now she meal preps for me.
Okay, then that's fine.
I mean, I'll say whatever you want. But
no, you're good. Okay, so we're running out of time here. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes. I think we have like.
Wow.
I think we have like 1 hour and 45 minutes.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna take a look at the questions that Danny Miranda.
Oh, we didn't even do those.
Yeah. And like I think that it would be fun if we make this like 1 to 2 sentence answers, and like these will be like TikToks.
Cool.
Is that cool with you?
Yeah, sure.
So like not like we're talking about conversations, be like more just.
Okay, I'm gonna try my best.
Okay. What are the most interesting and notable things about your past and life story?
Fuck. What to do with sentences? The most interesting and notable things about my past.
Okay, maybe like a minute per. It doesn't need to be
story.
1 to 2 sentences. Like a minute.
Oh my my God. I don't know. Interesting and notable things about my past. Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
What are the most interesting and unique beliefs / views you have about the world and how things work?
um I feel like we talked about that a
Yeah.
lot
Okay.
in
We
this
did.
whole
Yeah. We did.
podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you worship?
I don't worship anything
What would make you happy?
except for like fuck. What would make me happy?
Wait, what were you gonna say for what? What do you worship?
I don't know. I feel like
Okay.
that was a bad answer.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't
No, it's cool.
I don't
All right.
worship
We're
anything.
just cutting that. We're just cutting.
Okay.
All of that part. We're just cutting.
No worries.
What would make you happy?
What would make me happy? I feel like that's so hard to fucking answer because I feel like I control my own feelings. So nothing can make me happy except for me.
I mean, your son makes you happy.
Yeah. But that's but someone could be like $1 million would make me happy, or like a new job would make me happy. Like you could answer that in 1,000, or like my kid makes me happy. My family makes me happy. You know what I mean? Like,
what was the best moment from your year?
From this year?
Yeah. What was the best moment from this year?
This moment.
No, it's not.
I think this will have to be it.
Really?
Yeah.
Genuinely? This is the best moment of your year?
Why? Yeah, I'm very grateful to be alive right now. Nothing said that I was promised to wake up this morning. So
Okay. If I pray for you, what should I pray for?
I don't know.
Yo, you're giving terrible answers.
I know. Let me ask you. If I
yeah.
pray for you, what should I pray for?
These are hard questions. They're heavy-hitting questions. If you prayed for me, what?
Yeah, if I pray for you, what should I pray for? You want to be like, don't pray for me, bitch. like,
I don't need you to pray for me. All right. What's your keystone habit? So we already talked about it: working out, meditating, whatever.
I think cold showers are really important.
You ever do an ice bath?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
They're
Do you
fun.
do those?
Yeah, a little bit. They're dope.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could write down one question on your bedside and have the answer tomorrow morning, what would that question be?
Maybe like why are people actually happy like having a normal life?
Yeah, we were talking about
Yeah,
that.
like can people actually be happy leading what you might describe as a normal life?
If you knew you had 1 year left on the earth, what would you change about your life and why?
I would be vegan.
No way.
Yeah.
Why would you be vegan?
Because I feel
Fuck vegans.
I feel like it's the right thing to do.
What? Okay. We're not even going to get into that.
Yeah,
It's
we
take
won't.
more than a minute.
Yeah. That might be a good TikTok right there. Just end it at the fuck vegans part.
What's a question you would ask at dinner to a stranger?
How are you today? Because I feel like their answer to that is actually more telling than they might understand.
Everybody just says, I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, but why not be perfect if you weren't guaranteed to wake up that morning and someone else didn't?
That's a good question. What are you bringing into the world that wasn't there before?
I guess just my own unique thoughts and perspective, because no one has the same thoughts or perspective as me or ever will.
What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?
It's impossible, I think, to not fail.
But like, let's say like you knew like there's no way you could fail. Like, what would you do?
I think maybe what I'm doing now.
Okay. You're at the end of your life. What do you want people to remember about you?
I don't know.
What do you know for sure?
Nothing. What do you know for sure?
What do I know for sure? I know that I'm gonna make a big impact on this world, and I'm only 21 years old, and I think that I've like experienced and accomplished a lot. But I also know that like this is just the beginning, and I'm very excited to see like what the future has in store for me, because I know that like I'm destined for greatness, and I know that I have so much potential so many things that I want to achieve and can achieve. And now it's just about executing and let time play out. What do people say about you when you're gone?
I'm not sure.
Okay, this one's from me, not from Denny. What's something that you want people to know about you that like might not be obvious?
I don't. I don't want people to know anything about me necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think this was valid. Yo, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was a really cool podcast.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a really good conversation.